College and Uxbridge College Virtual Open Day for Apprenticeships. Here's what we will cover on today's session. Now I will hand you over to my colleague Candice, who will talk to you about what is an apprenticeship.
So what is an apprenticeship? So really it's, a really fantastic way of gaining a qualification, and as I mentioned before, earning a wage at the same time. The minimum for an apprentice at the moment currently stands at 16, but really you can be any age to do an apprenticeship, so whether you're 16, 30 or even 60. So apprenticeships are really open up to all ages. You need to be working at least a minimum of 30 hours per week and a maximum of 40. And currently at the moment, the minimum weekly wage for an apprentice is £4.15. So this is the apprenticeship weekly wage, and that's per hour. This does go up each year, but most employers that we work with actually pay more than £4.15. So you're based at your own workplace, and you have 20% of that working towards your studying. So whether that will be online or actually within our college campuses, you have the opportunity to sort of learn and develop within your learning activities and start kind of working towards a portfolio. A lot of our apprenticeships are a minimum duration of 12 months, but as we sort of go through the slides, some of them do vary. So it really depends on sort of the subject that you're studying and kind of where you are at with your starting point. So the benefits, the main thing is really, you are earning a salary and you're gaining a qualification at the same time. So, what's better than sort of working and earning and getting a qualification out of it? Obviously, depending on what industry you want to get into, we work with quite a lot of employers that are really industry professionals, and that's what you will be getting out of it. Really those transferable skills from the moment that you start, working, and it's a real job. You gain that real life working experience, and you work towards that nationally recognised qualification. And these qualifications are really designed by employers themselves, and a lot of progression is made into the higher education, and it can really advance your chosen career. So the apprenticeship standards were created by employers. We have three parts of those. So one of them is a level 2. It's an intermediate apprenticeship. So quite a lot of our apprenticeships start with at level 2. And the typical duration for the apprenticeship is about 12 to 18 months. And that's really equivalent into 5 GCSEs A to C, or obviously with the new GCSEs 4 to 9. The next is the advanced apprenticeship. So again, we've got quite a lot of apprenticeships at level 3. Typically duration would be about 18 to 48 months. And that's really equivalent into 2 A levels. And now you have these higher and degree apprenticeships. So back when I was an apprentice, there wasn't many apprenticeships gearing up to levels 5 and 6 and 7, but there actually is now. And it's a really good opportunity to kind of go into those fields. Typically longer duration, you're looking at 24 months plus, but it is equivalent into a foundation degree. So, based on those knowledge, competencies and employment skills, that will be able to determine sort of what level you currently stand at. So I'm going to hand over to my colleague, Harry. Thank you.
Candice, thank you very much. Good evening all. Welcome to our first virtual apprenticeship open day. My name is Harry DeSange and I'm one of 4 business development consultants at West Met Skills, Harrow College, Uxbridge College. Today I'll be going into further detail on the assessment part of the apprenticeship, also introducing you to the wide collection of apprenticeships that we currently offer, and a very brief overview of the delivery of the apprenticeships. So kicking off my first slide, how an apprenticeship is assessed. An apprenticeship is an exciting journey for both apprentices and employers. Therefore, it's paramount to us as a college to make sure we offer you the highest quality of training. In addition, finding you the right employer and matching you to the right qualification. So your assessor, so each apprentice will be assigned an assessor, a mentor. They will provide you with all the support. So the assessors will come into your workplace every 8 weeks for up to 2 hours. The assessor is fundamentally crucial for your entire apprenticeship. Your appointed assessor will visit you, support you, aid you in your development, support you in work, working towards your electronic portfolio, gathering work-based evidence, and sharing best practices. The assessor will also keep a continual line of communication with yourself as the apprentice and also with the employer. Most apprentices come into college usually 1 day a week, also referred to as a college day release. Apprentices are mandated to attend college at least 1 day a week, depending on your chosen qualification. College day is part of your normal working week. As such, you will be paid for your time at college, so a bit of extra pocket money there. Some apprentices may require a fortnightly training day or a monthly training day, but during your recruitment process here, each individual qualification and its delivery will be explained to you. At work, you'll also be assigned a mentor. So your mentor at work, usually the form of your line manager, they will be supporting you to all aspects of off and on the job training, making sure your well-being and health and safety is protected. And finally, independently assessed via an endpoint assessment. The endpoint assessment is a new theme for apprenticeships. So all apprenticeships now carry a endpoint assessment. The best way I can describe the endpoint assessment is picturing getting your driving license, sit a couple of lessons, gain some hours, sit your theory test, sit some more lessons. Once you're ready, your instructor will say, yeah, you're ready to sit the actual driving test. So in terms of the apprenticeship, once you've completed all your portfolio, any examinations, and you've completed all your off and on the job training, you will be entered onto the endpoint assessment. The endpoint assessment is conducted by an external organisation, but through our recommendation and your employers, we will then decide whether you're ready to sit the endpoint assessment. Welcome to the next slide. So I'd like to introduce you to all of our apprenticeship subjects. As you can see, we offer a wide range of different apprenticeships, sectors including hospitality and catering, engineering, childcare, hair and beauty. So we offer a vast array of different apprenticeships. All qualifications, all apprenticeships are taught by our industry experts. All of our assessors have wealth of experience within the industry. So I don't expect everyone to write down all the qualification. All these qualifications, all the information is available on our website, including all handouts. But towards the end of the apprenticeship, we are going to be opening the floor for any questions, and we're more than happy to discuss these qualifications more on an individual basis. Next slide. So traditionally, all of our learning is conducted through traditional class-based delivery, but in recent times, we have adopted to a new way in delivering qualification. So with some of our qualifications listed there with accounting, operational management, paralegal, team leading, in addition to you attending college once a month, we are working in connection with a company known as Mindful Education. They provide all the online materials, online resources. So in addition to our support, there's further support from different organizations that we work with. I will now hand you over to my colleague, Barry Cooper. And once again, thank you very much for tuning in.
Thanks, Harry. Hello and good evening. My name's Barry Cooper and I'm the Business Development Consultant for Engineering at HTUC. So on this slide, we have some of the larger companies that we work with: NHS, Heathrow, Addison Lee, the taxi and courier company, Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz, but we also deal with other large companies like Martin Baker Aircraft, who are manufacturers of aircraft ejector seats, Constellium, manufacturers of car crash test equipment, the Royal Opera House, well, you can guess what they do, CBRE, a maintenance company, and other large well-known companies in our geographical area. Just to go back to the Royal Opera House, they actually, obviously it's not singing apprenticeships, it's manufacturing the scenery that they need for their show. So it's quite an interesting situation. Most of our engineering apprenticeships are at level 3, so they're advanced apprenticeships. We don't do apprenticeships at level 2 at this present time. So on this next slide, we've got a number of our smaller employers, or what they're called SME, small medium enterprises. Our small employers make up about 85% of our apprenticeship intake year on year. and we have a great relationship with the employers who come back to us for more apprentices every year. So I've been with the college 5 years, and the companies have come back nearly every year to ask for more apprentices. So that's great for you guys looking for an apprenticeship. So now I'm going to hand over to my colleague, Matthew Webb. Thank you, Matthew.
Thanks, Barry. Yes, hello, I'm Matthew Webb. I'm another one of the business development consultants for HCUC. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about why you should become an apprentice. Apprenticeships are an opportunity to build up work experience and gain knowledge of the work environment. So in comparison to someone who's been to university and is a graduate, you could have up to 7 years more experience than them in the workplace. I know of examples where the apprentice that has finished their apprenticeship is now managing the graduates as they come through, even though they're younger than them. A level 3 apprenticeship qualification is recognised by future employers as the equivalent of 2 A levels at grade A to C. Some of our apprentices do their apprenticeship and then go on to university afterwards. You will earn a wage, so you will get paid for doing this apprenticeship. It's a proper job, as was mentioned earlier on. For some apprenticeships, you'll get a recognised qualification and you won't get any tuition fee debts. It's a great way to start your career or even to restart your career, and it can lead to many paths and opportunities in various roles across your chosen sector. But don't just take our word for it. Rebecca is one of our previous apprentices, and she's done a little video for us to tell you why you should do an apprenticeship and what it actually meant to her.
My name is Becca and I've been an apprentice here at Syringa Studios, and I did a creative media apprenticeship, and all that involved really was looking after the studio. So I would do passport photos, and if people came in just any day wanting photos doing, then I would do them against our backdrops. I would also edit photos and videos from weddings that we do as well, and I've been doing that the last nearly 2 years. So I decided to do an apprenticeship because I didn't feel ready for university, but I knew that I wanted to try and get into photography. So by doing this apprenticeship, I've managed to learn about how to work in a shop and how to deal with customers. I've learned more about doing wedding photography and video, and I've learned how different companies work, and I've been able to learn more about different types of weddings as well. So I've learned quite a lot from being here and doing the apprenticeship rather than just going straight to university and not gaining all this practical side to it. I chose a West Met skills apprenticeship because it seemed to suit me best, because this apprenticeship allowed me to work in a studio and it helped me to improve the wedding side of photography that I really enjoyed, and it was easily accessible for me because Harrow is quite local to me. Cool, so whilst working at Syringa Studios, I've had to deal with customers. So I would talk to them about making bookings, and I would have to do passport photos for them and also take photos in our studio. And I would also have to edit photos and videos, and learning about like colour profiles on the course as well was a big thing that helped me here. It helped me understand why we work the way we do and why we use the settings we do. And I would also help prep the equipment that we use for the shoots as well, and learning a bit more about the equipment and why we store it the way we do and why we use the equipment we do really helped as well. I feel like I've added value whilst working here because I've brought in my own ideas, so how we do the lists and how we look after the equipment and also how we store stuff. So I feel like I've added value in that way. The West Met Skills staff and team and assessors all supported me throughout the way. So the person I kept in most contact with was one of my assessors, and he would always give me advice and he would tell me how to improve my work and if I was missing anything, or if I just needed to add anything, and he would always give me advice and support, whether it was to do with the course or just general advice for working in the studio as well. My next step is going to Leeds Trinity University, and I will be doing photography there. And the reason why I've decided to go there now is because I feel like I want to progress my photography, I want to learn more, and I want to improve my photography. So whilst I've learned a lot here, I want to take it a step further, and I feel like doing this apprenticeship has helped given me the reassurance that I want to do this and that I definitely want to do photography as a career.
Hey, hi there everyone. My name is Sanjay Pal. I work as the recruitment officer at HCUC. So, how do you become an apprentice? First of all, an apprentice has to be employed. If you don't already have a job, we can still help you to find one. As you've met earlier, we've got a team of business development consultants who work with small and large employers within our local area. We work closely with employers to gain vacancies, which are then offered to our candidates. If you do already have a job, that's great. We're happy to discuss this with the employers to explain the apprenticeship process and make sure it's suitable for you. We think that having a very good CV is definitely important. It plays a vital part because we're going to send this CV out to the employers for them to assess. CVs, they need to be clear with important information and have no errors. Employers will probably look at 2 to 3 CVs before they need to decide who they actually want to interview for the position. If you don't already have a CV, our recruitment officers can work with you to help you create a CV, and that will then increase your chances of getting employed. English and maths, again, that's pretty important for an apprenticeship. If you haven't already achieved your English and maths GCSEs, with some apprenticeships, we can still offer you functional skills to help you work towards getting those whilst you are an apprentice with us. Attendance, again, is very important. We will be speaking to your previous schools and colleges to see how your attendance has been in the past. Attendance on the apprenticeship is very important. You know, you're only spending a small amount of time in college. If you do start missing days, it's very difficult to catch up, and you could be missing important parts of the courses. Some employers may even want to ask to see your attendance records from your previous courses. Practicing your interview skills, again, really important. The more you practice, the better prepared you're going to be for an employer's interview. I just want to speak about the application process as well. What we will do is conduct a telephone interview. Once that's been done, we'll then invite you into the college for a face-to-face interview with one of the recruitment officers. You'll also be assessed on your functional skills levels in English and maths. This is to ensure that we are confident in your levels of maths and English. Okay, to find out more, feel free to give us a call on either phone number, which is available there now. All of our vacancies can be viewed on the website, so please read through the vacancies and apply if you feel that that's the one you're interested in. Once college is operating back to normal, we're happy to accept walk-ins. There's always going to be a member of our team available to speak to. All right, thanks everyone for attending the virtual open day. We're now going to open the chat box for any questions you might have.
Thank you, Sanjay. Candice, if we could have the contact slide up again, please, that'd be great. Sort of while we wait for questions, Tamara, if we...
Hi, Harpo, we have one question from one of our audience. They have asked, I have done ESOL entry 3. Can I join apprenticeship in business? I am 30 plus. And also that person has emailed last week and is expecting a reply.
Right, thank you, Mara. So just to kind of answer the first bit of the question, as Sanjay just mentioned, we will invite you in for initial assessment, and based on that, then based on an interview with the curriculum, we will then make a decision whether we can sort of offer you a place. But until that happens, we won't be able to do that. But just also to reinforce Sanjay's about the process. At the moment, as you know, everybody's working remotely, but the team are quite happy to carry out remote interviews, initial assessments, so we can get that organised, and the curriculum teams are also happy to interview for the suitability of the course. So we can certainly do that. Apologies if you haven't had a response back, but if you would like to email us separately or contact either Sanjay or Alice on the numbers above with your name, we'll make sure we get a response out to you ASAP.
Thank you, Harpo. I don't see any other questions at the moment. I'll probably give a bit of, oh, sorry, there's another question come up just now. The person is asking, so do I apply for the apprenticeship online? If so, when will I be able to apply?
Right, the application is twofold. So we have all our vacancies which are put on to the HCUC website. So you could apply against a vacancy, but if you don't see a vacancy, but you're interested in applying for an apprenticeship, there's what we call a pop-up form where you populate it with your contact details. We will then contact you for you to again come in and meet with us and to look at your options. So what we want to do is make sure we give you sound advice and guidance before you embark on any of the apprenticeships. So we want to make sure it is the right course for you, because in some cases, as Candice and colleagues have alluded to, we've got 12 months duration up to 48 months. We want to make sure that your time is spent well and it's invested, and there's definitely a career progression for you.
Harpo, thank you, Harpo. We have another question from Becca. If I'm coming to college, say 2 days a week to do coursework, the days when we're not at the college, are we allowed to use the facilities?
Yes, you are. So when you join us as an apprentice, what you will do is you will get a student ID. And when you come in for your induction and day release, you'll get an induction to our Learning Resource Centre. Our Learning Resource Centres are open from 9 till about 8, Monday to Thursday. On a Friday, it's the closing day, so it finishes at 5. And you have the same rights as our full-time students when you come into the college to use our resources and facilities.
Thank you, Harpo. We have one more question from Gervin Kaur. She's asked, can you help in getting job?
Yes, we do. Again, I think Sanjay alluded to that. So the apprenticeship only works if you're employed, and we do have people who are already employed, and we upskill them. But then we also have applicants where we help them to find jobs. So Candice, Harry, Barry, and Matt, that is their role. They're out engaging with employers, getting the vacancies in. Then Sanjay and Alice are recruitment officers. They will match and screen suitable candidates and then sub them out to the employers.
Another question that's just come through, Harpo. Are there any costs involved in becoming an apprentice, and if so, how much?
Right. The apprenticeships is based on eligibility criteria. There are no costs to the candidate, but it depends on the size of the employer. So we have 2 types of employers that pay into a tax, which is called a levy. And then you've got the non-levy employers, which the government funds. Now, if you're on the non-levy employer, the employer has to make a contribution of 5% of the funding that we get on your behalf. But as an apprentice, you will not incur any costs at all.
I can see a couple more questions. One more question from Gervin Kaur. She's asked that last year she has given an initial assessment and she didn't get the level 2 in English, and they said she was not qualified. Is it that they need level 2?
Again, it depends on the subject area. Some subject areas like engineering, electrical, plumbing, gas, accounting, paralegal, and the level 5 and above qualification candidates are required to have GCSEs equivalent to A to C and the new number grades 4 to 9. That is purely because of the subject that you're undertaking. It requires you to have that as an entry requirement. But again, Gavin, if you got any other queries, please contact us, and we're happy to discuss that with you in more detail.
Thanks, Harpo. There's another question come up. Do we get any financial help?
You don't get any financial help because you will be earning a salary. You know, given the fact it's not a lot, but so you because you're earning while you're learning, there isn't any other financial help available unless your circumstances are such that you might be eligible, but that is done on a one-to-one basis with an interview and assessment. Again, these are the sort of questions you can ask when you come along for your initial assessment and interview. As I said, it's advice and guidance, so it's your opportunity to ask us as many questions as we need to find out more from you as well.
Thank you, Harpo. There's one more question. If someone is doing a part-time job, can they still do an apprenticeship?
It depends on the part-time job, because the qualification is attached to a job role. If somebody is working, I'm just trying to think, as part-time, an accountant, say, yes, you can, but it will mean that we would have to extend your duration a bit longer, because government guidelines are that, you know, you should, if you're working 30 hours a week, then if you're your course is for 2 years, you do 2 years. If you're working half of that, then we would have to extend the duration of the course longer to make sure that you get all the input that you need.
Thank you, Harpo. Another one has come up. I have done functional skills level 1. So which job can I apply for? Also, I have done maths in entry 3.
Right, it all again depends. You know, we've got so we've got level 2 apprenticeships in childcare. We've got business admin. We did have, but going forward it's only level 3. So they are limited amounts. But again, don't rule yourself out at this stage. Come and talk to us, and we can explore that with you further.
Thank you, Harpo. I don't see any more questions now, so I will leave it to the audience for a minute or two if they want to ask you any further questions.
Yeah, no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. I know there's lots of information that we've gone through today. It's a lot to take in. Just to tell you that this recording will be on our website in a couple of days, but we also will be emailing it out to you for those who have registered an interest. Again, you know, we're here to help. And any questions, any queries, please do not hesitate to contact. And we want you to make the right career choice. And if you're working, again, you can upskill, and we will then happy to talk to your employers to see how we can support with that. Any more, Hamara?
No, Harpo, I cannot see any other questions from the audience.
We'll give it a couple more minutes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. No problem.
And just while we're waiting to see if there are any other questions, it's probably worth just reiterating that we do have the vacancies live, and they do change regularly. New vacancies are always coming on board. So if you don't see something that takes your fancy that you're interested in immediately, then do come back, but also do talk to the team, because they will know what vacancies are coming up as well, and they can assist you with that. So I think that would be fair to say, Harpo.
That is correct, Lucy. That's a really good point. So at this minute now, we are sort of engaging with as many, I would say young people, but people interested in apprenticeships. So we have a pool of people ready to to go out to market with the employers. So even if you don't see a vacancy, but you're interested in an apprenticeship, please use our form on our website to get in touch, and the team will get back to you and carry out the initial assessment, advice and guidance, and guide you from there. Just to kind of say, you know, with the employers, it is a big jump. So this isn't an easy option. This apprenticeships is not a soft option. So you've got to be remembered that you've got to be working towards a qualification, learning a new job, literally sort of working more or less full-time hours. So please, you know, it's not a decision to be taken lightly, but if you're definite that's what you want to do, then it's our job to make sure that you succeed. And we do have really good success rates in you know, previous years, and we've done really, really well on most of our qualifications. Any more?
I think somebody just asked, I have done ESOL level 1.
Okay, again, I think I will reinforce the fact that, you know, come and talk to us, and we will see where your starting point is. And don't forget with the apprenticeships that you have to achieve English and maths either at level 1 or level 2 in order to be able to then put forward for your endpoint assessment. So we will then, and without that, you won't be able to sit the external exam. And one of the things that I do want to emphasize here is that if you need to improve your English and maths, we will be running standalone courses from September that you could actually join in. Some are part-time, evenings and day, and then that gives you a head start to get your English and maths either improve a level or achieve it, and that stands you a good chance of then getting an apprenticeship as well.
Thank you, Harpo. The same person actually asked as well, because obviously she's done ESOL level 1. Can she join an apprenticeship in science?
Again, it's about the entry requirements for science. You know, the requirements, sorry, my grandson's waving at me because he's going home. The entry requirements are, you know, GCSE grades A to C. You know, but we're happy to talk to you about how you can improve your English and maths on the standalone courses, and then you're better prepared to apply for those sort of positions.
There's no further questions at the moment, Harpo.
If I can just, sorry, just to add to what Harpo said, obviously if you're interested in an apprenticeship in science, and if there isn't a vacancy available, and obviously depending on the level, don't forget, talk to the team, because there are other options that are available. So if the apprenticeship doesn't quite fit you at that point, the team can help and give you some advice and guidance about what other options there are, because there are obviously courses as well in science that might suit you before then being able to progress onto an apprenticeship. So it's always worth just getting in touch with the team, and then they can help you from there.
Yep, that is true. Yeah.
Another question has come through. Can I apply anytime in the year?
Yes, we have certain courses that start in September, and then some courses that we have a roll-on, roll-off program. So if you have a look at what we've got available, and then we could do that. So there are certain, like engineering, all of that starts in September, accounting starts in September, business admin, customer service, hairdressing, those are roll-on, roll-off provision, early years childcare, teaching assistant, health and social care. So there are certain courses that we take on like 3 to 4 intakes in the year, but there are other courses that are set September, October starts. So it all depends on the subject area. But again, we'd be happy to discuss that with you further.
There's no further questions in the chat box at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, another one has come through, Harpo. There will be providing a CSW in apprenticeship and interview use interpreter as well.
So just to pick up on that one, if you do have a requirement, and Shani, Debbie, either of you may well be able to add something to this. So if you do need a communication support worker, it is worth letting us know. If you're applying for an apprenticeship, to let us know about your requirements as soon as you can, because then obviously we can assist you in getting the support you need. I don't know whether or not there's anything else we can add. Obviously that.
No, that's right, Lucy. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Jenny. individual circumstances and things that people are asking about in terms of their particular requirements. Talk to the apprenticeship team initially, and then we can take that from there.
Yeah.
I don't see any further questions at the moment. Another one has come through. Do you go on work placement and do you get paid?
Right. This isn't work placement. This is real jobs. So when you are employed by the employer, you will have a contract of employment and a salary, and the employer will have officially put you onto their payroll. So you do get paid, but it's not a work placement, it's a real job. We offer work placement to our full-time students, which varies from 5 days to 2 weeks, or even a longer placement, but those placements are not paid. But for apprenticeship, it's employment, not work placement.
Thank you, Harpo. No further questions at this moment.
Okay. Please feel free, if you've got any other questions, you think about it later on and thought, oh, I wanted to ask that, please do get in touch. As I said, I can't reinforce that fact. We're here to help, and we will do our best to sort of get back to you. As I say, business is normal for us at the moment. The recruitment team are busy engaging with the learners, and the business development teams are busy sort of engaging with employers, even if it's just keeping them in touch, finding out where they are and what they're doing. But said, we're here to help.
If nobody has any more other further questions, shall we wrap up?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Just to add to Harpo's thanks for joining us today, and as we said, do get in touch if there are any queries about the apprenticeship, and we'll pop the information onto the website so you have that to view as well. So thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you everyone. Good luck.
you.
Please keep in touch. Bye bye.